Yep.
And then in June, at the all-day sit, we're going to be doing a Jukai precept taking, and 4 of our sangha mates are going to be taking the precepts or renewing the precepts. So don't miss it. It's a life of vowing, whatever way it manifests in us, is a precious thing. I don't know why my hand is up on, trying to make it go down. Okay. The other is, I'm going to put people on the spot a little bit, is every year we do Way-Seeking Mind Talks. It's a chance for the sangha to share their stories about practice, how you arrived here, or to renew them. And we'll be doing that again this summer. And it's about a 20-minute talk. We don't record them, so there's confidentiality, but it's also a really sweet thing to both to do, because it makes you nervous and you get to deal with that. But also because we find, I think we find out we have so much more in common than we thought, even though we come from 100 million different places. So my first question is, both on screen and off screen, is if you have not given a Way-Seeking Mind Talk and you feel like some sense that this sangha is someplace that provides refuge and solace, and that practice provides refuge and solace, those are the words that are coming to me now. So if you haven't given a talk, and you might be willing to at least be curious about it, could you put your hands up on screen and off? I think you care good. I mean, you should all know that I already have you all targeted, so I'm gonna come after you anyway. But you can always say no, but I thought I'd give you a chance. It's fun. It's a beautiful.
I've gone most of the summer, but
Who else?
I'm gonna be gone most of the summer, but
Oh.
I'm happy to go.
Okay. Anybody on screen? No?
Oh, there's a hand up.
Where?
Elise.
Kathy is definitely not raising her hand.
Elise, good. Yes, wonderful. Okay, and anybody who has given a talk before, but not for a few years, who would like to, I just think the way you enter and frame practice changes. Debbie gave a talk last week that she called Way-Seeking Mind 2.0, and I thought that was really wonderful. It's like, where are you in this moment? What is your practice? So, and some people have done that over the years, but anybody want to volunteer before I come and find you?
I'll volunteer.
Oh, good. Okay.
Since I'm taking my vows again.
I know you are, Judith. I know you are.
Has everybody who's
Anniversary of
doing Jukai done it?
I think everybody who's so Judith is and Kathy Barr and
Sue,
Sue-
did she give a talk?
Sue, have you given
And
your talk?
she did.
That's what I
Beth.
thought.
Oh.
And Beth, and you gave a
I
talk.
did one a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll do it again.
Okay. Well, thank you for
My hand back here.
wow, Lainey raised her hand. Oh. Good. Okay. So having said that, so one, I'm just so appreciating that we get to do this. I mean, in a certain way, I suppose. I mean, for me and for, but I'll just talk about me. It is a kind of way-seeking mind talk, because it's always active and engaged all the time. It's like, what is this way? And what is it then what is my understanding that I had when I entered when I was 26 years old, and what and then to get to study and sit and practice and to keep asking, what is it? To me, it's just an extraordinary thing that we get to do this in this lifetime. And because we're doing the Eightfold Path, I want to especially appreciate what the book that we've been using, edited by Cheryl Wolford, The Eightfold Path, which is 8 Zen commentaries by 8 Zen women. There are lots of wonderful commentaries. I mean, Bhikkhu Bodhi and Thich Nhat Hanh, but I find that I keep coming back to this one because they're speaking through our tradition, and there's a richness to the way that they're opening the path. So so today we are on right mindfulness. We've had lots of discussion about it doesn't mean right as opposed to wrong. The word that came to me most recently is upright. What is it to be upright in this life? What is it to be present and grounded with a sense of, Norman Fisher uses the word dignity, which I actually, it's kind of maybe an old-fashioned word, but I think it's kind of a beautiful. It's like, how do we just be present in this life? So what is upright, present mindfulness? And then Hoko Carnegas, who I don't know, is she's doing the commentary, and her subtitle is Remembering Reality, which is nice. So Satipatthana Sutta, which we've done in the past, we'll probably do again. It's the major sutta for foundations of mindfulness. It's not a surprise, probably, that Thich Nhat Hanh loves this sutta, and it's a really important one. So what she brings forward in this essay, though, is through the eyes of Dogen, which I didn't even know Dogen had a commentary on the 4 foundations of mindfulness. So I'm already deeply indebted to her. And the way Dogen describes it is early Buddhism, meaning Shakyamuni Buddha, the words of Shakyamuni Buddha as we know and understand them, is he described the 4 foundations of mindfulness as 1, the body, and that it was described as impure. 2, sensations, the experience, the sensations of being alive, being aware, awake to the sensations in the body. The mind, being aware of the mind, the thinking mind, the mind that we identify with as impermanent, and phenomena, the stuff of it, as non-substantial. With the view that, which is certainly my experience, I always think traveling in Southeast Asian countries, which is amazing to feel the devotion and the practice, but I have such a strong memory of visiting an ancient ruin of an early Buddhist monastery, and the urinal was the world, and so you were pissing onto the world. It's so graphic, you know. It's like it's something that you wanted to disenchant yourself from, to remove yourself from, to loosen your grip and your identification with craving. I want, and aversion. I don't want. So what she brings forward is that Dogen described this in a completely different way, a whole new way. And I really like this. So I'm going to describe it. I'm going to give it to you today, and then I'm actually going to fill it out on Thursday. So if you're not there on Thursday, too bad. You'll never know. Because there's another road that I want to go down this time. But he described the 4 based on non-duality. So now let me just do a little commentary about this, and I'll quote Norman Fisher again, or at least what I thought I heard him say. It's like the minute you name non-duality, you already made it a duality. So what are you talking about when you talk about non-duality? And I think this is right because I read things where people seem really attached to non-duality. And I think, what do you think you're doing? I mean, this emptiness thing. I mean, please study it, understand it, but also know, I think people can get really attached to emptiness and to the fault of not being present in the world. The other side of that, of course, is that we're very identified and attached to the world, and we don't have any ground or spaciousness in it. That's the gift of this period of time, I think, is it's coming at us hard and fast enough, and there's enough difficulty, is to have a practice where you can ground and have a sense of breath and space, to actually be able to not turn away. To practice with it is, I'm so grateful. But anyway, Dogen, he recommended contemplating the body not as impure, but body as a skin bag. Now, I have to say I was so delighted when I found this again, because that's one of my most favorite descriptions, is when I read that, I just thought, we all just got born into a skin bag, you know, and some of us have this color skin and some of us have that, and some of us have different heritage and different conditioning and all these things we identify with. Basically, we're just a skin bag walking around. There's I don't know if Dogen thought that was funny, but I think that's funny. It really helps me. Contemplating sensation as eating bowls. When you go around with the rounds, as a monk, as a begging monk, you take whatever comes into your bowl, you accept it. Mind, contemplating mind as fences, walls, tiles, and pebbles. I mean, that's what Dogen's really famous for. It's just the tile. It's just the stuff of the world. This is it, and it's all mind, and it's all mirrors, and it's all projection, and it is just completely this. And the fourth, I didn't think I was going to get caught in this, but I can't say this without doing it a little. The fourth one, phenomena, instead of being non-substantial, is he brings forward a koan from Yunman, and old man Zhang drinking water, old man Li getting drunk. Is what are you putting as high and low? Pay attention. Like, what are you setting one thing up against the other? And of course, I mean, there's good and there's bad, but pay attention to where you get caught up. So from Dogen's point of view, he's really pointing to the duality of subject and object, what we do with our dualistic minds, and saying, I doing little commentaries here. It seemed to me when I first saw people picking up mindfulness, it looked to me like people were they thought they were doing something. And it just didn't look to me, it just looked like there was something extra. And Dogen is saying, there's really nothing to be mindful of, and there's no one person who is doing this mindfulness. It's like, it's alive, just be present in it. To be in the phenomenal world just as it is. So the early teachings were to disengage you from the world. Dogen, and I think the beauty of this tradition, is full immersion in the world. This is it. There's nothing to separate yourself from, and there's nothing wrong here. And of course, we get to study that in our minds and hearts all the time, and to keep coming back to everything is radically interconnected. Where does one thing begin and another? So our job is to be awake, to be present, to be mindful, to be heartful. Presence. It's We're not adding anything extra on this. And as she names it, remembering reality. Just remember to return and return and return. So follow this a little bit more. Early Buddhism saw, and thinking of Juliet here too, as the world is a mass of suffering. There is suffering, right? First noble truth. There is suffering. Mahayana Buddhism certainly knows there's suffering, but it's also an awareness of a wondrous web of alive. And it's just our confusion that creates the suffering, but the fundamentalness of it is life force alive is wake up, wake up. So early Buddhism, some of you probably is because I came in through Zen. A lot of early Buddhism I sort of knew, sort of understood, but I'm having so much fun going back now through a deep grounding in Zen to look at and understand a little bit more what the early teachings were. So there were four ways to view mindfulness. One, simple, just simple, non-judgmental observation and recognition of what arises. If you go to a Vipassana retreat, they're probably going to tell you to note your thoughts, to note your sensations, to name them, which is very beautiful. And I will humbly admit that I can't do it. It's just not the way I enter practice. It's like whatever your karma is, it's like, bless you. So, but just very simple noting and naming. Protective, preventing unwholesome thoughts from arising, and just just noticing your mental reactions, which of course this is really helpful. I mean these times are what more could you ask for than everything we're being given to notice your reactivity? Would you like a really helpful teaching? Well, then just pay attention to many of the things that are going on. You'll learn a lot about yourself and the human mind and suffering. And the other is, third is introspection. So when negative things arise in your senses and in your mind, unwholesomeness is you restrain. You pull yourself back, which the language in Zen, which I really like, is wise restraint. But I also think you can get into trying to control. We're all kind of good control people, right? What's the difference between noting, and the minute you note, it already changes, and a control of bad thought, stop it. It's subtle. And the fourth one is that if you're stopping bad thoughts, you're also actively cultivating positive thoughts, which is the four Brahma Viharas and loving kindness, and which is also really helpful. And Zen does it. The Mahayana and the Bodhisattva vow was instead of distancing from it and trying to control it in a certain way, it was, can you be here? Can you be here fully? So it shifted the focus and introduced the Bodhisattva vow and bodhicitta. So I think this is interesting in terms of history. Can you live an awakened life in the world by seeing how things really are? And the 12-fold chain of dependent origination, which is what I want to focus on a little bit, because I kind of went down a deep path, and you're going to have to listen because I think it's interesting, and maybe you will too. But so she points out that in the Chinese, when Buddhism entered China from India, it moved from renunciation of the world, from trying to transcend the world, to that everybody and everything is Buddha nature. and there's an interdependent web. And so what we do is we're cultivating an awakeness and an aliveness and a presence in the midst of isness, suchness, which is emptiness, but it's not empty, but it's not full. I think you all have a sense of what I'm talking about. You just, the minute you start trying to do this, you run into language. So Dogen said a total immersion in the way, letting everything in, no beginning, no end. Suzuki Roshi says swinging gate, no inner, no outer. I love that. It's the swinging gate. And a focus on the 12-fold chain of causation or dependent origination. Which is, to me, it feels like this, I mean, it can feel very kind of academic or dry, but the 12-fold chain of causation, to me, always feels like the rumbling of the life force. It's like, it's alive, and how we create it and limit it, which is what we do and what as human beings we need to do. But it can't ever, Buddha nature can't ever be made less than, more than, added to, detracted from. It just is. And it's a description of how we take this whole vast, incredible, no beginning, no ending universe world, and we bring it down to Kyle. And all of Kyle's likes and dislikes and all of the wonderful things about her and all the things that, you know, I mean, each of our personal identities. Sometimes it's called cause and effect. It's another is, so here's the basic description of it. This is because that is. That is not because that is not. This comes to be because that comes to be. And this ceases to be because that ceases to be. It's like everything is 100,000,000 causes and conditions, each moment. And we think we know what's going to happen, and we're viewing it through our little Buddha straw. And in the beginning, Dogen, my interpretation is he got a little too into emptiness and said there's no cause and effect. It's like, just practice emptiness. And at the end of his life, he came back around. He matured, in my language. Is there, of course, there's cause and effect. What you do something good, something there is an effect. You do something confused, there's an effect. It's just being alive. 12-fold chain of causation, quickly, begins with ignorance, a lack of understanding, and an inability to see the truth, to know what is. We're all walking around on often Tibetan thangkas. You may have seen that they're dancing on a little human body. It's because there's a basic. The minute you have dualism, the minute you see this and that, you're already it's just ignorance, but not bad. It just is. Let me see where my pages went. So when there's a lack of understanding, karmic formations begin to arise because you're conditioned. You have your karma. You have your Martin karma. I have my Chris karma. You know, there's just we've all got these karmic skin bag bodies, minds. And so it starts to arise and things start to divide from everything is interconnected and whole and weaving in and out of everything else into, it's described as like an embryo dividing. It starts dividing into subject and object. It's nothing wrong with that, but it's only when we add into it our own confusion and our greed and our hate and our jealousy and anxiety, and then I have this feeling of like it starts going. It's like a cooking pot. It starts going. There's this self-cooking there. Are you enjoying? I enjoy this. I don't know if you enjoy this. And then what happens is that we start naming it. We start seeing it through form and name. And we're absolutely sure that that's it. But does it ever occur to you that somebody from another culture or conditioning is seeing something, same thing, but completely different? I mean, the whole thing is kind of remarkable, but we're so sure about our naming and our forms. And then our sense organs, our eyes, ears, nose, sound, smells, taste, touch, minds, make contact with what we perceive is out there. And then once that happens, we start liking it and we start not liking it. That's number 6. And then we start having feelings about it. We think it's pleasant, we think it's unpleasant, we think it's neutral, we think it's mixed. And then you can sort of feel like we're more and more entangled, right? It's like me, I'm more and more me. And then you want things and you don't want something. And then you start clinging for it and doing everything you can to get things to go the way you want them to go and thinking there's something wrong if they're not, you just know the whole thing. And then you are fully into becoming. You have given birth to a full human being, moment after moment that you call me, that I call me. The 10th one is birth. Being birthed, moment after moment after moment. And the minute you're birthed and identified as this skin bag and this mind and this consciousness, you're in the realm of birth and death. And the minute you're in the world of birth and death, you're in the realm of suffering because there's sickness, aging, and death. But you also have a choice in each moment. That's the amazing thing. And to me, the amazing thing is that the more you practice, the more you know there's choice and possibility, and that we are actively creating and co-creating the world moment after moment. And so right mindfulness is simply being awake, coming back moment after moment. So we use our consciousness then as a tool of transformation. Like, wow, way-seeking mind. When did it first occur to you that maybe there was a way to practice with this body and mind to wake up? So and then I want to send you guys off to do whatever you want to do with this, but this is Suzuki Roshi, not always so. Chapter called Changing Our Karma. You become very serious when you have a big problem without realizing that you are always creating problems. With a smaller problem, you think, oh, there's no trouble, so I can manage it quite easily. You may think this without even knowing how you will cope with the problem you have. The other day, Tatsugami Roshi, this must have been early days at Tassajara, said, a tiger catches a mouse with his whole strength. A tiger does not ignore or slight any small animal. The way she catches a mouse and the way she catches and devours a cow are the same. But usually, although you have many problems, you think they are minor, so you don't think it is necessary to exert yourself. Karma starts from small things, but with neglect, your bad karma will accelerate. It occurred to me when I read this, well, what interesting times we're in. There's just an acceleration of all these little things that we didn't pay attention to, and suddenly it's like we're tiger and there's I switch metaphors, but I think you get it. Like, where did it come from? Well, it's not like it's never been here. I mean, none of these problems. It's just karmic formations. When you follow karma and drive karma in a good direction, you can avoid the destructive nature of karma. That's our job, always. And in this time, you want the world to be different? Pay attention, like a tiger. You can do that by being attentive to the nature of karma and the nature of your desires and activities. As Buddha pointed out, to know the cause of suffering is to know how to avoid suffering. If you study why you suffer, you will understand cause and effect and how bad actions result in bad effects. Because you understand, you can destroy, you can avoid. Because you understand, you can avoid the destructive power of karma. As long as we have an idea of self, karma has an object to work on. So the best way is to make karma work on the voidness of space. If we have no idea of self, karma does not know what to do. Oh, where is my partner? Where is my friend? Some people try hard to banish karma, but I don't think that is possible. The best way is to know the strict rules of karma and to work on our karma immediately. Your karma happens. Karma is happening. You go, oh, karma, my old friend. I know you. I know this. I know the Christmas of Chris. If you know something is wrong with your car, stop your car immediately and work on it. But usually we don't. Oh, this is a minor problem for my car. It is still running. Let's go. That is not our way. Even though we can keep driving, we should take care of our car very carefully. If you push your car to the limit, the problems are constantly working on your car until finally it stops. Now it may be too late to fix it, and it will require a lot more energy. So everyday care is very important. Then you can get rid of your misunderstandings and know what you are actually doing. Thank you very much. You're kind of sweet and warm and humorous and like somebody who's really just like studies the self and who wants to be helpful and understands karma. So we got about 10 minutes or so. Maybe we could break into groups of 3 online and here. What I was thinking about, so what's the question? Question always is whatever's most important to you. I really like this phrase. You live with this forever, because this is that is. This is not because that is not. This comes to be because that comes to be. This ceases to be because that ceases to be. It feels to me it's enormously alive. It's like each moment we are creating the world moment by moment, and the world is creating us. And his quote, the name, can't remember, now I lost him. What do you think of all this? How do you live with this? What's this have to do with anything? I mean, really, is the 12-fold chain causing, is that just like some Buddhist words? What's all this? Just talk about it, okay? Make it real in your life, or say, I have no idea what any of this is about, and that was interesting, or whatever you want. Okay, so groups of 3, you have about 10,